Today in history. Okay, it is August 8th, and we're going to continue with our journey to the past.
We are. We have 3 events to share with our listeners today, so it's a busy day coming up. So let's get straight to our quiz question. Here it is. One of the most famous albums in history is that of the Beatles at, number 1, a zebra crossing, or number 2, horse riding. Okay. One of the most famous albums in history is that of the Beatles at, number 1, a zebra crossing, or number 2, horse riding. I think we're talking about an album cover here.
So not necessarily the title of the album then.
Right. Yeah. I believe it's where they took the picture for the album cover.
Right.
So if you know the answer to that, then text in pounder sharp 1045 on your cell phone for 51, or leave your answers on our bandy board and you could win an usan.
아, 그렇군요. 오케이, 자, 어떤 분이 과연 또 예쁜 우산 타실지 궁금합니다. And in the meantime, let's check out what interesting and significant events have happened on this day in the past.
Today in history. In 1919, Dino de Laurentiis was born. In 1937, Dustin Hoffman was born. And in 1969, the cover of the Beatles album Abbey Road was photographed.
1919년 8월 8일에는요. 영화 제작자 Dino de Laurentiis가 출생한 날이고요. 1937년 8월 8일은 Dustin Hoffman이 탄생한 날입니다. 또 1969년 8월 8일 비틀즈의 Abbey Road 커버가 촬영된 날이기도 하죠. 그 횡단보도를 4명이 이렇게
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Abbey Road Studios is where it was recorded,
That's
yes?
right.
Okay, so we begin today's journey to the past with the birth of a mogul in the film industry.
And he was an Italian film producer, Dino de Laurentiis, who was born on this day in 1919.
He was best known for his science fiction, fantasy, and horror films, a list that includes Flash Gordon, Conan the Barbarian, and the sequels to The Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and Red Dragon.
Wow. Well, his career spanned more than 7 decades with more than 600 movies under his belt. He also built several film studios in Italy, in Australia, and even in Morocco.
Beautiful. Wow. What a big career, huh? Well, he was known in the industry for his stern and very tough spirit. In fact, after earning the nickname of Dino de Laurentiis for his failed remake of King Kong in 1976, he persevered with other projects and put his faith in new talents.
Oh, he's the one who directed this movie?
Yeah. The remake of King Kong.
Okay, but it turned out to be a flop, I
Right.
guess. Well, one of them was none other than acclaimed director David Lynch, who gained international fame through the movie Dune in 1984.
Interesting. That's a pretty big career, huh? 600 movies.
Wow, that's a lot.
Incredible, huh? All right, so let's move on. And let's talk about one of the more recognizable names in the Hollywood film industry. We go to 1937 for the birth of a star.
With memorable performances such as Rain Man, Tootsie, and Papillon. His actor, Dustin Hoffman.
Indeed, and he is considered to be one of the greatest actors of all time. And it started with his breakthrough performance in the 1967 film, The Graduate.
Ah, The Graduate. Did you see this movie?
I have not seen this film.
Oh, please.
I know. It's
There.
one of the ones that I have to.
There. Look at that beautiful leg. That's Anne Bancroft.
Okay.
Right. Okay, this was soon followed by Midnight Cowboy in 1969, where he played the leading role of Ratso Rizzo.
Look, with these gals that want to buy it, most of them are old and dignified. Social register types, you know what I mean? They can't be trotting down to Times Square to pick out the merchandise. They gotta have some kind of middleman. And that's where old Daniel comes in, you know what I mean?
Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Up yours, you son of a...
That's
Whoa.
Dustin Hoffman.
That is Dustin Hoffman, indeed. He went from being very nice to very angry there just in 1 second, didn't he? Well, that performance has been rated one of the top 100 performances in the film industry. And the interesting part, too, is that the scene we just saw was completely improvised. Hoffman had no idea a cab, by the way, that was a real taxi, was approaching. His reaction was 100% genuine.
Obviously, he brought out the tough part from him.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty.
interesting.
The best scenes seem to come when spontaneity happens,
그렇죠.
right?
네.
Improvised scenes from these
아니,
very
근데
talented actors.
큰일 날 뻔한 거잖아요. 지금 택시가 갑자기 지금 영화 촬영하고 있는데 뛰어들어가지고.
You would think that they would close off the set.
Oh, yes.
Right? But apparently at that time, maybe they didn't do that.
자, 도로를 막고 이제 영화 촬영 중입니다. 이렇게 하지도 않고 촬영을 했던 모양이에요. 자, 그런 결과 아주 놀라운, 아주 멋진 장면이 결과적으로 연출이 됐습니다. Alright, so that is one of the most iconic scenes like we've just talked about it. And when it comes to crossing a street, nothing comes second to the following event.
Nice segue. That's none other than the shooting of one of the most iconic and important album covers in music history, the Beatles' Abbey Road.
And the shooting was that of the cover, the famous street crossing of the Fab Four.
The Fab Four, that's right. The album was originally supposed to be entitled Everest, and thus they had planned to take a private plane to the mountain itself to shoot the cover photograph. But as they became increasingly eager to finish it, Paul McCartney suggested they just go outside, take the picture there, and name the album after the street.
Simple idea.
Yeah. Let's go to Mount Everest. No, let's just go outside.
Yeah, just right out there.
Okay, Paul.
자, 그 에베레스트 산까지 가려고 했지만, 뭐 집 앞에서 찍지 뭐 그냥 해서 그 바로 그 사진을 찍은 거리의 이름을 따서 이 앨범 이름을 지었다고 하죠. And so the photo was taken outside EMI studios on Abbey Road at around 11:30 a.m. in the morning of this day in 1969.
Pretty cool, huh? Also, a fifth person inadvertently jumped into international fame, and that was the man standing in the background. His name was Paul Cole. He was a tourist who just happened to be there at the precise moment the photo was taken. See him back there?
Oh, yes.
On Point and Radio, standing next to a car. I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of standing around.
뭐 서 있을 수도 있죠, 뭐. 뭐 길에 서 있을 수도 있죠, 뭐. 자, 그 뒤 배경에 찍힌 어떤 그 이름모를 나중에 Paul Cole이라고 이름이 알려졌긴 했습니다.
Why is he wearing a suit on vacation?
It's August 8th. Must have been
Super
sweltering hot.
outside, right? Yeah. Maybe he had an important meeting that day. Anyway, a very interesting today in history. And before we finish it up, the answer to the quiz question. The question was, one of the most famous album covers in history is that of the Beatles at number one, a zebra crossing. That is the answer. A zebra crossing, I believe, is British English. In North America, we call it a crosswalk.
crosswalk. 그래서 횡단보도 crosswalk을 zebra crossing 마치 그 얼룩말의 무늬처럼 이렇게 선이 가 있다고 해서 a zebra crossing이라고 한대요.
All right, so that's it for today in history. And when we come back, we go to Italy with Steve Miller in today's Travel Notes. Here's a song requested by Lee Sun-young Nim. It's from the Sound of Music OST, Edelweiss.